All right, it's another morning, another ride with an accountant. So today I wanted to get into the weeds a bit about a particular tax subject, and this is geared towards business owners, specifically if you are either in a partnership or you are an owner or shareholder of an S corporation. As of recently, I came across a couple of new clients, and they were both S corporation owners. And I started asking them about the pass-through entity tax. And these are clients that have worked with prior accountants. And when I asked them about this, they both kind of scratched their head and looked at me like I had three heads. I'm like, what are you talking about? They've never heard of it. And it just blows my mind that you have, unquote, professionals out here working with folks and they never heard of it. And this is a highly advantageous tax deduction that specifically these business owners can take. And it was crazy that when I asked them about this or how much they're paying into it and get the details of it, they have no clue what I'm talking about. So it just put people on, because this happened to me twice, probably more than twice within the last week. But I'll preface this to say that if you are owner in a partnership or a S corporation and you haven't had these conversations with your tax person, you need to find another tax person, because it's crazy. If you are in a state that does have income tax, if you are in a state that doesn't have income tax, like a Florida, Nevada, then it wouldn't pertain to you. These are folks where your business is in a state that does have income taxes. I want to get a little bit into the weeds of it as far as why you need to be taking advantage of it, why it was set up, without trying to sound too tax nerdy. But I really want to stress the importance of it, because again, it's a great deduction that can save you a lot of money, and you need to take advantage of it. This is relatively new, and maybe this is part of the reason why I'm running into so many folks who aren't taking advantage of it, because it's relatively new. So each state has decided to pass it on their own, but most states decided to create this deduction, I'd probably say around 1920, and essentially it was in response to the Trump tax law changes. So when Trump came into office, if you remember, one of his big accomplishments was a major overhaul of the tax code. And as a result of that, most folks lost a good amount of deductions, mainly the income tax deductions. Before, you used to be able to take all your property taxes that you paid, all the state taxes that you paid, and those all counted as deductions on your federal income tax return. So Trump comes along and he decides to change that and just reduce the amount that you could deduct. So before, there was pretty much no limit on what you could deduct with the taxes, but once Trump came along, they chopped it down to $10,000. So most folks that are in the business owner space or a high income earner, you're easily paying more than $10,000 alone just in property taxes. Not to even mention, you're paying way more than that in state taxes, right? So with this new tax law change, someone that might have been writing off $50,000 between property taxes, state taxes, is now limited to just writing off $10,000. So big hit for many folks. So the states started creating for S corporation owners and partners, they started creating what they call the pass-through entity tax as a way to get around the shortcomings that were enacted by the Trump tax law changes. So essentially, what it allows you to do is still pay your state taxes that you owe, but yet still get the deduction of it on your federal income tax return, which essentially pushes things back to where they were for, at least just for most business owners. If you're just a W-2 person, unfortunately, you're still so well or assed out, as they say. But for the business owner, it's a way around it, so that you can max out your deductions and still get that credit for paying your state taxes on your federal tax return. That's why it's very important that folks take advantage of it, because if you're business does relatively well and you're paying, say, $30,000-$40,000 in taxes to the state, if you don't take advantage of it, this is a deduction that you're not able to take. So I just get floored when I hear that folks aren't taking advantage of this, because this can be so much of a money saver. There are some nuances as far as making a claim, and each state has their own parameters as far as being able to take it. So check with your person to make sure. But I just wanted to put this out as an alert to folks. If you're not sure, go talk to your tax person and say, are we taking advantage of it? Because if you're not, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. So that's all for now. Catch you on the next one.